Hey, welcome to the award-winning 99% Radio Network here in the Fishbowl, broadcasting live from Fishbowl Studios here in Bedford, Texas. We are brought to you by the Biker Wolfpack and Glenn Lawson Law. If you ride, make sure you have the Wolfpack on your side. Ow! Broadcasting on the OBBM network and all your favorite streaming platforms. Check us out on Roku. And I just saw on the news today that you do not have to sign up for Roku to get Roku or have a stick. There's a certain way to do this.
I don't remember signing up.
Right.
Maybe.
I guess you just
I
get
don't
it,
know.
right? I don't know.
I put my email in, maybe.
Yeah, that's it. And you can get it. As long as you have a smart TV, man, you can be part of Roku.
Well, you can get the stick.
You can get a stick.
You can get a stick.
And you can check us out while you're sitting on your living room couch eating your cheese doodles.
Right now on a rainy day.
All right.
Where you don't want to be on the road.
Well, today is all about Indian motorcycle, man. We're going to tell you about the history. As you can see, Indian motorcycle kind of exploded on our desk.
Yes.
But before we begin, man, let's talk about Saturday's event of Hops and Props.
From what we
Do you
can remember. What we can remember of Hops and Props. Yes. I remember Petty Colas.
Yes, me too. And probably that's all I remember. You know, I'm not a craft beer drinker.
I am, and I was actually excited. I was like, okay, here, have another.
Yes, you were such an enabler. You just kept feeding me drinks. And like you said, I only had 3.
I think you only had 2.
No, I think I had more than that. I definitely
They were about this big, 9%. Velvet Hammers, but for somebody who doesn't drink a 9%, it's different than liquor. It's different. It's different.
It was definitely different. It was definitely different. But you know what? You fed me some. I know Cool Pappy was feeding me some.
I didn't feed it to you. I just opened it for you and kept it out of the sun.
Well, thank you. Well, after 2 days of recovery, I found out that I should just hydrate a little bit more.
Well, I'm not gonna. Well, I am not gonna lie. Well, I had a few beverages before I came on, but I'm hydrating.
But otherwise,
I'm hydrating as well.
But otherwise, man, Hops and Props was probably it was just one of a better event this year. It was outstanding. I think there were more beer vendors there. The food was phenomenal. I heard everybody rave about the crawfish.
I heard it was good.
I
don't really think I ate anything besides like potato chips.
I didn't eat anything all day.
We didn't.
I didn't eat anything all day, and I think that was the main problem. The only time I ate is because Tigger was yelling at 2 of your Betties to say, "Take care of him," because she wasn't there.
The flight attendants.
But yeah,
well,
that was
job.
D-La-La and Sheila.
They're supposed to pass out snacks.
Yeah, D-La-La and Sheila were like, "All right, we'll take care of him." And they kept trying to feed me food, but I was just in the moment. And until we got to
We should have them come around with peanuts and pretzels.
Yes,
and stuff.
that would have been a good idea.
Dude, we missed that.
Hindsight. But then we went to Cook's to Angie Easton's
I did not
event.
make that.
You didn't make that one. That was over at McFly's over in Fort Worth, and it was a nice event. Not excuse me, not a great turnout, but there was money raised. So kudos to Angie, and all that money went right to Cook's Children's Hospital. Then Sunday was a work day, and then
you don't remember the rest.
Then I remember, Tattoo Mark. Let's blame this all on Mike Kislak, and Aaron
I'm good with
Wild.
blaming Cowboys.
Yeah, I'll blame the Cowboys on this one because they put out a video, right, to do this ice bucket challenge. Remember years ago, back in the 1940s, we were doing this? No. But years ago, and everybody forgot about it, they were doing the ice bucket challenge for ALS to raise awareness for ALS. So Aaron Wild from 92.1 Hank FM and Mike Kislak and I forgot the other guy's name. He has a ranch for
the other guy sitting next to him.
Yeah,
right.
I forgot his name. I didn't write it down. I'm sorry.
Love you.
But they had an ice bucket challenge to raise awareness for mental health in our youth, because a lot of our youth are struggling with mental health issues. So they nominated me and Tattoo Mark. So Monday after work, I went to Tattoo Mark's Dallas Cowboy house.
Nice
I'll tell you, I went to his home. It was It was beautiful, but it was everywhere you looked, there was cowboy stuff. Everywhere. I mean, kitchen, bedroom, living room, hallway. I mean, bathroom. The bathroom, he had a dispenser, a helmet dispenser for toilet paper. I mean, he had some pretty novel stuff. A lot of different prestigious awards and recognitions for what he does for the Tattoo Mark Foundation, which is very honorable, and bringing awareness, bringing actually smiles to all these kids. So me and him did the ice bucket challenge in the back with the AT&T Stadium, and then you got. I nominated a couple people. Yeah. I nominated a couple people over in the UK who do the Walk the Bridge to raise awareness for our mental health, and Pete Colley from the UK, Stitch, was brave enough to nominate you, Pitbull.
He was brave enough because he's how far away?
3,000 miles, I guess.
I will see you again. No, but I was glad to do it.
You were.
I did it today.
Yes, and I tell you, you know, she did it in such a unique way. And do you have both those videos up? We're gonna play mine and Tattoo Mark's first, and then we'll play Pitbull's right after that. So check this out. This is the Ice Bucket Challenge. Iceberg Challenge. We should do that one. Crash on Iceberg. We're going to do, these are the Ice Bucket Challenge for mental health. And if you do one, send it into the 99% Radio Network, and we will share it because we want to support Erin in her raising awareness for mental health. Hit it there.
Right. Are you going to use this one or no?
Oh, you can.
Oh, hey, camera.
Hey, welcome everybody to the Sideshow with the 99% Radio Network here with Tattoo Mark, with the Tattoo Mark Foundation. You know, and we were challenged by Mike Kislak and Erin Wilder to do a mental health challenge, the Ice Bucket Mental Health Challenge. And that's what, you know, when we talk about mental health, we will put ourselves in any uncomfortable position, anything we have to do to raise the awareness flag and get our kids and get our first responders and our veterans really the help that they need. We do it on Walk the Bridge every third Sunday of every month, you know, globally. So, and Tattoo Mark, you're here to do this, to raise money for the kids at all our children's hospitals. Tell us a little bit about what the Tattoo Mark Foundation is about.
Yeah, so the Tattoo Mark Foundation we just started last year, was our first year making it a foundation, but I had a teddy bear drive 14 years ago, and very blessed. I got a great staff. Amy Brown, she's the one that helping me put it together. I got a board member, Maria Marquez, that you're going to see. She's going to be finally taking that out on me from the water. Yeah. But no, I'm actually very blessed to be able to bless 18 hospitals with bears to these kids. And I know I ain't gonna say too much of it, but we got some amazing news today. We are breaking the world's record in the Guinness Book. I guarantee you that we're breaking it.
And you know what? That's a blessing for all the children around to hold that honor that you can bring teddy bears and get that world record to these children. That's something, you know what? You can't put a price tag on.
No,
that's a blessing that just keeps giving every time that child smiles.
Exactly, because the world's record's over 20,000 bears. So that's over 20,000 smiles you're blessing every kid that's sick. Now, granted, Maria will tell you, these kids don't need to be in the hospital, but they're there for a reason, because they're sick. We are very blessed and thankful to have good doctors, good nurses, good staff to be able to take care of our kids now, because they are our kids. And but you know what? I had told Maria, because I brought her on board. I had said, Maria, you're going to experience something that you'll never experience again.
I think she's going to enjoy this challenge.
Oh yeah, she's going to take it out on me. She's going to take it out on me. But
so, you know, with the Ice Bucket Challenge, what you do have to do is nominate people that you are friends and family and people that support mental health. So my sidekick, my biggest advocate for mental health, who is at the bridge with me every single month, who even goes there when I'm on an event, Tigger, I'm challenging you, and we can do this when we get home. All right, I'm challenging Stitch Peter Collier in the UK, who walks the bridge and supports mental health awareness, and an Army Ranger and U.S. Marine Corps veterans from Rockwall, Jeffrey Gray and Gabriel Joseph, who walked the bridge in Rockwall, and Ty Magnuson and Keith Hernandez over in UK. You guys have been challenged, formally challenged. We want to see some ice bucket mental health poured over your head.
Tattoo Mark is challenged. Tim TK Klun, you're in it. And I'm also challenging Chad Taylor, you're in it. Sammy Estrada, you're in it. And Sam Lopez from San Angelo, 325, you're in it. You all got 24 hours to do it. Let's just do it. We're doing it. Let's go. Do it for the kids.
And look at that. You couldn't have a better backdrop than AT&T Stadium.
Come on now.
The Cowboys right here.
We're representing the boys, baby.
All
Let's
right.
go. Let's get it done.
Let's get it done. You ready? I'm sure they're going to love this. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Ah!
Yeah! Yeah, baby! I love it, baby. Yes! Yes!
That's what it's all about, man. That is the ice. You had to get that little extra in there, right? You had to empty it.
Hey, you can see the dripping, man. It was great, man. It wasn't that bad.
No.
Please, do it for the kids. We just did it. I mean, it's amazing. And God bless you all. I love you. And take it over, my man.
Man, thank you for tuning in. Share it, like it, subscribe to Tattoo Mark Foundation. Share, like, and subscribe to 99% Radio Network. Just hit all our supporters. Glenn Lawson, Lauren, the Biker Wolfpack. You guys are amazing supporting us. And we will be out this Saturday at Indian Motorcycle supporting all of our veterans and first responders. We want to see you there.
Do you want to say something?
Come on, guys. I want to see all those videos. Post them on the Tattoo Mark Foundation.
Come on now. We did it, man. I mean, come on. If we this man's even sick, he told me today. He's sick, and then this guy's doing it. So if we can do it, please do it. You guys got 24 hours. TK, you're on board. Chaz Taylor, you're on board. Sammy Estrada, Sammy Lopez, all 4 of you guys on board. Got 24 hours. Let's get it done. Share it. We want to see it on the Tattoo Mark Foundation.
Stay blessed.
Hey, it's your girl Pipple from 99% Radio Network, and I'm accepting the mental health challenge all the way from the UK. Stitch, thank you for nominating me. I'm going to get ready to do the Ice Bucket Challenge, and I am nominating my mother, Deborah Johnston, Mindy Moser, Cha Cha Baby, and I'm going to go in a long shot with this one from a guy back in college to DJ High Noon up in Kansas City. So stay tuned. Oh, we got
all right, we are back. I know, man. We're gonna play the rest of them. I didn't get to download all of them, but Stitch from the UK we're gonna play those every week for Erin and Mike, man, because they are really raising the bar for mental health awareness. I got to tell you, Pipple, your rendition, you took it to a different level. You really did.
Well, I have to say, I got the inspiration from my cousin the first time they did the ACL challenge, and she did that. She lived in Daytona, and I freaking loved it.
That was a,
so
that
I
was
had
a cool
to,
way to do it.
I had to go with that.
It was a cool way to do it.
Tiffy, yes.
No, man. I tell you, we have networked and grown so much in the last couple of months. It's been amazing, the people that we've met. And, to keep doing these things and making that effort to just get out there and be part of a community is what the 99% Radio Network is really thriving to do in 25, and we're keeping our promise, We're going to take a quick break and let's get a word from our sponsor, Glenn Lawson and the Biker Wolfpack. And we're going to be back. Then we'll be back to talk about some vintage motorcycle memorabilia from Indian right after this.
Biker Wolfpack Law is a safety organization founded by myself alongside Robert Howell with the primary focus of motorcycle safety, advocacy for injured bikers, and just general protection for those injured while riding motorcycles in the great state of Texas. Biker Wolfpack Law is a division of Glenn Larson Law Injury Attorneys, which is my firm. What's different about Biker Wolfpack Law is it's a community-based, event-based connection component to make sure that motorcyclists have all of the safety information they need, all of the legal information they need, and frankly, if needed, that full-blown legal advocacy in times of injury through no fault of their own.
One of our big events is we do ASM classes, which are accident scene management classes, which are put on with the Road Guardians, group of riders that are usually EMTs, doctors, nurses that also ride. And so they know what can happen when you're out there by yourself. And so it's a very intense class, like how to do tourniquets, how to get a helmet off of a person without hurting their neck more, how to get somebody out of the middle of the road. We do those a couple times a year, and the more safe riders are out there, the better it is.
The second division and component of Biker Wolfpack Law is to sponsor local musicians at bike nights or other community events that involve motorcyclists, but also just the community as a whole. And then third is larger charity organization events or rides to get out in the fresh air and have some fun. What I love most about representing bikers and motorcyclists across the great state of Texas is really one thing. It's about hearing the story. It's about going to motorcycle events, constantly meeting new people and making new connections. One of the reasons why I started Biker Wolfpack Law was to defeat and counteract many of the biases that are out there that, quote, motorcyclists are just dangerous. Make sure that motorcyclists are seen as exactly who they are, very hardworking, very responsible, and very dedicated individuals that deserve the justice that they need.
Hey, welcome back to the 99. Woohoo! Nice hat. Man, I am wearing a vintage 1940s motorcycle helmet. My ear holes are good. I can put my earbuds in. Hey, welcome, Lori. Lori, you there?
She's got
I'm here. I'm here. I just wanted to take my helmet to work day.
I got my helmet to work day too.
I know. I absolutely love it. I love that you guys participated in that. We're hoping more people will share some photos of them wearing their helmet to work because, tomorrow starts Motorcycle Awareness Month. And, we all have to really stand up in the month of May. So if you don't mind, I'm going to play something I put together for you guys and why do I do it or do you guys do it?
Well, Lori, let me just show you one. Let me show you one thing.
Okay.
When we're talking about helmets,
okay, I'll put my glasses on.
How far we've come with helmets. When we look at this helmet from the 1940s, it's like nothing.
I know.
It wouldn't do anything.
I like the sunglasses. Don't you look cool?
Well, these are very special, unique Glenn Lawson law firm sunglasses.
Okay.
He was giving away at the Hops and Props. So anybody who would love these beautiful sunglasses, you probably get a pair.
You have to come to an event and grab them.
So you went trick or treating.
Yes, of course, of course. I was special. I got these great glasses. Vendoring. So, I don't know if it was you that put out that video about if you buy. No, you know who just did this, and I thought it was great, and it tied into what you were talking about. Rick Fairless from Strokers put out a podcast today, and he was talking about helmets as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He turned around and he goes, well, if you have $100 head, he goes, then buy $100 helmet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, and let that sink in for a second. Let that sink in. He goes,
or how much is your life worth?
Or right. And he was promoting, helmet safety as well. And but that's That's what it's about, man. What is your life worth? And you want to buy a cheap helmet, you're going to have cheap results.
Well, and also the fact that most of us have family, even if you're solo, you have somebody out there that loves you. You have somebody out there that's grieving. I had a help request today, and these two people were riding, and a deer came out and tried to jump over them and hit her in the head. And she's been in the hospital literally for about 4 months. And not that, the truth of the matter is that we would save a lot of lives if people wore a helmet. And it's just a fact that you have to have the safety gear nowadays to keep you safe. And so, yeah, they've really come a long way. I mean, in Colorado, I started with a half shell, kind of a cheater. And I blinged it up and everything else. But the truth of the matter is in a bad accident, is that really going to protect me? And so now, as you saw, I've gone to my full face helmet with my break-free taillight. And I wanted to make sure I put that on there because I spoke to Alex today from Break Free, and he's donating 2 Break Frees to Texas that I'll be putting in the mail to you guys, so that closer to the end of the month, we'll be able to give those away with our helmet giveaway. And then I'm putting in the mail 4 trauma packs for you guys. T-shirts will be later this month, but we're going to, load you guys up with stickers for everybody and anything we can. Motorcycle awareness begins with us. And, it's kind of going to be my mantra this month, is to get everybody to just, we want to make it fun. We are the faces behind the helmet. I've got a great little video we've put together. This week is Take Your Helmet to Work Week. So I hope when you guys are done with the show, you put those back on and just snap a photo and post it on Biker Down Texas, because, I really want everybody to, if you do use a helmet, to take it to work. If you're a chef, a waiter, construction worker, lawyer, judge, whatever you are, just take a photo of you. If you work behind a computer, if you're an FAA, guy, whatever it is, if you're a pilot, whatever it is, put that helmet on and just let's show the driving community that we are professionals, that we're hardworking, that we have families, and we want to get home just like you. And we need to get rid of that stigma of, and I hate to say profiling, because profiling takes on many, many forms. But too many people are aggravated at motorcycle riders that feel they're entitled or, cross over 3 lanes. And I don't excuse any of that, but, we're all not like that. And, I'm a grandmother, I'm a wife, I'm a business owner, many businesses. And, I work hard, and motorcycle riding, I have a right to be on the road just like you do. So I don't have a super long episode today, but if you wouldn't mind, could I play this really quick?
Yeah, bring it up.
Okay. I hope it does it.
Let's see.
I don't.
You'll get it.
Okay.
It worked the last time.
Okay. There it is.
Do we get it?
Yeah.
All right.
What's up, everybody? I'm Tatanka, and I'm the face behind the helmet. I'm a husband, father of 6, son, brother, grandson, and uncle. I ride all the time, and I want you to watch out for me when I'm on the road.
I am the face behind this helmet, and I have people like this at home waiting for me. Please look twice and save a life.
Hi, I'm Candace, and I am the lady behind the helmet. I am a mom, a grandma, a friend, and an avid bike rider. And please, look for me. Be careful when I'm around. I need to live.
Hi, I'm Dazzlin, president and founder of Bling Divas Motorcycle Club. These ladies behind us are the faces behind the helmet.
Hi, I'm Choke, vice president Bling Divas MC. I'm a mom, a daughter, and a wife. Keep an eye out for me. Hi, my name is Cupcake. I'm the SA at Bling Divas MC. I drive a bus all day and ride a motorcycle for therapy. Watch out for me, please.
I'm Rob, and I'm a face behind the helmet. I'm a father, a veteran, a business owner. Been riding for a very long time. And I want to get home to my family just like you.
Hi, I'm Laurie. I'm the face behind the helmet. I'm a mother, a grandmother, a wife, a business owner, and I run a nonprofit. I ride for wind therapy and I ride with my friends. Please watch out for me. I want to get home to my family.
But that is a
boy, have
powerful,
I changed in the past couple of years.
man, Lori, I got to tell you, man, that's a powerful message because.
Did I lose you guys?
No,
no, you were here.
Anyway, that was it, and I had that scan the code if anybody wants to, take a picture of them riding with their helmet and just do a little PSA. It's just we've got to find a way, and I don't really know what that is. It's after 15 years of doing this, I don't know what to do to get the motorcycle riders to carry the right insurance, and I don't know what to do to get the drivers to watch for us. But we keep pushing forward. We keep doing what we do, and we keep loving motorcycles. So I do want to say, and I know you guys will post this, that thanks to the 99% Radio Network and the Wolf Pack, we're going to be giving away a helmet. I believe our first drawing is on May 9th or May 7th, because we're going to do it live on the show. Yep. We have about 37 people that have registered, but we need more. So I'm hoping
that's going to be a big show.
May 7th is a big show. You know why?
You know who's coming to town?
May 7th. It's Santa. You think Santa Claus coming to town is big? We got Johnny Rizzo from Motorcycle Mayhem coming to town.
Oh, I'm so sad. I'm going to miss that one.
And we're going to have a meet and greet afterwards at Will
well, they're going to love meeting him. So maybe you can get everybody to register for helmets that come to the meet and greet and stuff. But we would love
we can do that. We can do that.
To get, you guys have a really strong social media presence in the state. And so I'd really love for more people in Texas because, we're giving away over $100 and something break free light, a t-shirt, a $50 trauma pack, and this wonderful helmet. And it's all because of you guys. I know I just came up with the idea, but you guys are executing on it. And we just, if we save one life, what a beautiful thing that'll be. So I love you guys.
Behind the helmet thing. I love that campaign.
Yeah. We are the face behind the helmet because it does make people understand that we're not just that gnarly, nasty bike rider,
right.
That we have veterans, we have biker ministries, we have women riders, that are about inspiring and empowering people. And I don't know how to get that message across to them other than you see a biker, I am a mother, or I'm a wife, or I'm a grandmother, I have children at home, so that at that moment when they want to road rage, when they want to just get really up on us, you know what? Namaste, let them go. They want to get home just like you.
Johnny Rizzo's just said, have to get the schools to teach the young to watch for motorcycles.
We count bikes. I used to teach my kids.
Yeah. And we've done those slug bug type of campaigns, and count the bikes and things like that. We've done that here in Colorado, and it's a great game. But the thing is, you just have to keep with it and stuff. And I would love, to go to a school and introduce them to, a gnarly, nasty biker, and then, take the helmet off and the next person is a mom, and the next person is a grandma and things like that, because from the moment those kids came out of the womb, they have been shoved technology in their face, and so it's impulse control, but they need to know that those bikers, that one episode that we did with the rider and the biker, that PSA, play that for them. So I don't know, maybe we can find some schools, in the coming year. If you guys want, I'll fly in for it. We'll get the TV. We'll
I
do
get that kid
whatever.
that age. I'm sure I could find
Yeah.
a school, and I know a lot of my Betties, a couple of my Betties have kids in that age.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would love to do that. Talk to some driving schools. Maybe we could create some sort of PSA that they could play in the driving schools,
High schools, driver's ed.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what they show in drivers anymore, if they even really account for motorcycles
I drove
now.
I wrecked my driver's ed car, and I actually drove. And I did. It wasn't my fault. I swear. It really wasn't.
Never is.
Well, that was because you were in a car and not on a motorcycle.
Right. But it also, the criteria to pass was not very good.
It was like,
I drove my Jeep to driver's ed before I had a license.
Yeah. Well, my biggest story is when I was like 13 or 14, my mom had a Pinto. And so she parked it in the carport, and then she took her company car to work. And for the whole summer, I drove that Pinto all over St. Louis, Missouri, until one of my neighbors finally told my mom what a bad mom she was. And she was like, "What are you talking about?" And she goes, "You don't know that your daughter takes that Pinto every single day and fills it up with kids and drives all over." And so when I came home, like the hour before my mom was going to come home, she had parked her company car where the Pinto parked. And I knew I was pretty snagged. So, yeah.
Pinto. A
Yeah.
Pinto. I think there's only one car safer than the Pinto, and I think that was either the Pacer or the Vega.
The Gremlin.
Oh my God, the AMC Gremlin. Yeah, we're starting to date ourselves now. Yeah, absolutely. Well, anyway, I got to get ready for International Female Ride. We've got Chicano Pride Ride here in Denver that brings about 2,000 to 3,000 bikes, and so it's a pretty busy weekend. And then next week we'll do our episode, and then I have to head to Vegas for Motorcycle Awareness Day, so we'll be posting a lot of videos. But love you guys.
She's just jet setting around the country.
There is Laurie. We're gonna have to do that with a whole bunch of biker faces, and then just put Laurie somewhere.
All right.
Where's Laurie?
Yes. Where's Laurie? All right, Laurie. You be safe. Have a great time, and we will keep spreading the word.
Love you so much. Ride safe, everybody.
Man, Laurie Monson. Flex and his fitness program, and I heard through the grapevine that you went for your training session. We're going to hear about that training session right after this.
I was in an accident 12 months ago to the day. I was driving on southbound Santa Fe, and somebody did a suicide left in front of me, and I T-boned him at 45 miles an hour. From that point forward, I don't remember anything for the next 18 days because I was in a coma.
She broke 9 bones, lacerated my spleen, put me in the hospital for 21 days. I remember none of it.
Biker Down was founded in 2011 after riding several rides over the summer and seeing, tragically, my friends get injured. And I felt that there was a need missing in Denver and in Colorado for an organization that helped the biker community. As you may know, the bikers are one of the most charitable entities out there, and what we do is provide them a variety of services such as medical equipment, financial assistance if necessary, and a plethora of resources to help them stay afloat during the hardest time in their life, which is their recovery. My biggest hope is that I'll never get another phone call that a biker's gone down, but that's not realistic. So I think my true realistic dream is that we can help as many as we can help, because it is life-changing for them. Certainly donating and volunteering your time, and even if you can't do that, attend our events. Attend our event and get a $20 t-shirt for your $20. Those kind of things make a big difference in a small nonprofit like ours.
Hey, welcome back to the award-winning 99% Radio Network here in the Fishbowl, brought to you by the Biker Wolfpack and Gun Loss and Law. Oh, we just heard from Lori Montoya over in Colorado, who's going to be flying out to Vegas and really spreading the awareness campaign for our motorcycle community. But with our biker fitness, Flex is going to tell you how to stay healthy so you can take those long rides, so you can not be fatigued when you get off the bike. Welcome, Flex.
Thank you. I appreciate everybody. You know, the crazy thing is, man, what a great time at Hops and Props.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. I actually remember it.
Yeah.
I remember it. Rode the bike. Yeah.
I wore
Oh, you did ride the bike?
Oh, yeah.
That's why he was in his cut. Yeah.
Come on now.
Just wear it.
He only remembers that. You don't even remember us getting
That
on
was
there,
already
do you?
in- that was on the beer
I
can,
barely
too.
remember you being there.
That was
no,
beer
no.
can, too.
No. What, that was your first Hops and Props.
That was my first.
What
I
was your
told y'all.
What was your impression?
Well,
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Hey, welcome to 99. You're on the air.
Hey guys, this is Randy with Lone Star Cuisine.
Hey,
Hey.
Randy.
Hey, Randy.
What's up,
The
what's up,
barbecue
brother?
What's going on,
guy.
Hollywood?
How are you, brother?
I'm doing good, brother. How about yourself?
Good, man. We're gonna have you on next week, but I'm glad that you called in because we got some good stuff going on this weekend. Ain't that right, guys?
Yes, we do.
Yes. Yeah.
Heck yeah! So tell us a little bit what you got in store for us. Tell us a little bit about what's going on.
Okay. Well, Saturday we're going to be coming out to your Pinups and Pistons bike show, and we're going to be bringing brisket, pulled pork. We do burgers. We do everything that is Texas inspired.
Okay, hold on. Wait, I got to cut you off real quick.
I didn't give him a warning.
Wait. I got to cut you off real quick. You're going to be here on May 7th, right? In studio.
He's going to
Yes.
be
Yeah.
at
All
Pinups
right.
and Pistons.
Yes, but he's going to be here May 7th.
Mhm.
How much food do you have? Because we have Johnny Rizzo from Motorcycle Mayhem going to be in studio May 7th.
His nickname is Johnny Steaks.
And it's Johnny Steaks. And he wants some true, authentic barbecue. So are we going to be
Texas.
setting up a craft station here or what?
Ooh,
Love
can
it.
we do a
Love it.
charcuterie board? Is that a thing?
What I can do is I can bring you guys my trailer out, and we can cook on site and make you guys food.
We can do a
so you
tailgate
guys
party
can
in the
enjoy.
parking lot.
That would
That's
be
right,
cool.
100%.
That
Yeah.
would be cool. Fantastic.
We'll get the
We'll
logistics,
make that
but we'll let
work.
you know.
Johnny Rizzo, we'll treat you. And Johnny's probably sweating already. He's probably
I
like,
know,
I want my plane ticket now. Johnny, we're getting you a
Right?
food truck. We're getting you a barbecue food truck here at the station.
And that's what we're going to do. We're going to bring it out. We're going to show what we can do so you guys can enjoy it and have a lot of fun doing it.
Now, I will give him some. This man, he has a great work ethic. He puts love in his food. If you want good Texas barbecue, that slow smoke, hickory flavor, you want something that'll make your mouth water. It's not him. No, I'm just kidding. That's exactly this man right here. He'll take care of you.
I mean,
Love you, brother.
So tell us
I
what,
love you too, brother.
what are some of the things that we're going to be looking forward to next week?
or how about
Well-
at
Pinups
and
Pinups and Pistons. What are we
On
looking
May
forward
3rd.
to?
Well, what we're looking forward to is my loaded nachos, my brisket nachos that I put out there. Also, my loaded fries. We call it the Texas Tornado, and we have a Texas Disaster.
Texas disaster.
They're
that's mine.
huge.
Wait.
Yeah,
I
they're
need to
huge.
understand. Now, this is all 100% where we're looking at your macronutrients, and it's all based on portion size, so we don't go over, right?
No, I wouldn't
Are
say
you
that
talking to
now.
me, Sideshow, or him?
You know what? I'm talking to all parties that are listening.
Johnny
right
Rizzo.
now.
Johnny Rizzo's on the line, and he's feeling faint. He's probably licking his chops right now.
He
going,
said fat guy dream.
Hey, you can go to our website at Lone Star Cuisine and look at all the pictures. You can also go to my other website, which is Trouble Tea Barbecue, and you can look at all that as well, and you can see everything. It'll make your mouth water, and you'll be ready for Saturday.
Oh man, that is
Love
great.
it.
You're gonna start serving food at 11.
Well, when they
Yes, sir, I am.
That's when the event starts.
Yeah, fantastic, man.
Yeah.
So come by, grab some great Texas barbecue.
Got a
and
lot
wh-
of good food trucks.
Yeah,
but I'm,
it's gonna be an amazing day. It's gonna be an
There's
amazing
the
day.
meat.
And you're gonna bring him. You're
gonna
bringing
be
the
a
wife
blast.
with you too. Will she be
Yes,
working?
sir. I'm bringing the wife, and my son will be there, and who knows else will be there. We're bringing a lot of people with us.
Good deal.
Tailgate party.
There you go. There you
Look
go.
forward to seeing y'all.
Look, thank you so much,
And
brother,
what I
for
love
calling
to
in. We'll
do
see you Saturday then.
Yeah, the one thing I love to do, I'll tell you, is I like to intervene with my customers. I like to talk to them. I like to party with them. So if you come out and you see us, enjoy, talk to us, ask us questions. Let me come out and take pictures with you.
If you bring him alcohol, he'll do a shot with you too.
Hey, it's
Oh, yeah.
BYOB.
That's right, I will.
It is
We-
BYOB.
We will be bringing you some alcohol then.
We like barter
Hey,
systems.
I do have whiskey in the trailer, and it is for shot day when we're doing it.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks, brother. We appreciate it.
Yes.
Love it.
See you
No,
Saturday.
thank you guys. You'll have a
I'll
great
email
time.
you soon.
Yes,
That's
sir.
who you're emailing.
Yes,
Thank you.
ma'am. Talk to y'all later. Later, brother. Love you, man.
Love you too, brother.
Man, that's I mean, I'm hungry just thinking about
I know,
it.
right?
Yes.
I know
Man.
you've tasted his food,
Oh
I
yeah.
guess.
Oh yeah.
He recommended it. That's how we got in touch with him.
Yes. When it comes to Texas barbecue, that man puts some passion into it.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at him. I really ain't. Now, moving on. Now you got our calories all on.
I know
off
now.
the
Like
road.
All jacked
I
up.
should have
Let's-
waited till next week to start my fitness
I know.
challenge. I'm afraid you're going to tell me I can't eat
You
that.
can't eat it. You
Now-
can eat the meat, no barbecue sauce.
That's fine.
No barbecue. Just protein. I got to the great thing about doing this show, the great thing about the profession I'm in, I get to see people at their best. I got to see them at their when they're vulnerable, and that progress from start to finish. And the cool thing is not only is this man my friend, but getting to see him and communicate what his strengths and weaknesses are, and do that fitness consultation and see what you were able to give me was amazing. Then I got this pit bull over here. She's like, oh my God, it's going to be the worst thing ever. I'm scared to do it. It's going to be the numbers are terrible. And then she steps on. We do the fitness consultation, and all her levels are optimal. It's like, what are you doing?
See, sometimes you feel like you're in a lot worse shape than you really are.
But I haven't set foot in a gym, I'm not going to lie, in probably 4 or 5 years.
Jen Mill.
That's right.
It's walking in the heels.
Yep.
That's what my Betty's saying. It's walking in the heels.
Yeah.
But
the calories with that.
But the great thing is what I got to experience with her and with you is, both of you, have a passion for life, and both of you, you have your kids, you have, one day you want to have the grandbabies, whatever that looks like. But the thing is if you look at when you get in the gym, or when you look at when you're trying to hit your fitness journey, that's kind of like one of the times where you don't have to worry about the rest of life.
Yeah.
Everything else, life will beat you down, and you will put yourself last. But the crazy thing is once you make that time a couple times a week to get in that gym, man, it revives you mentally, physically. So what's been great is we have a great journey. This isn't a race. This is a marathon. I know your trouble spots. I know your trouble spots. I know both your vulnerabilities. But the cool thing is you're willing to put in the work, and I'm excited to see the journey.
Right.
The end results will be what the end results are, but the journey is what's beautiful. And when I'm talking to people out there, it's crazy. I went to a Chamber of Commerce meeting, and there's about 65 members in there, business owners. And when I got my chance to speak up, I said, I'm here and I can help everybody in this room. I'll leave you better than what I found you. And the crazy thing was that was a pattern interruption that made an impact. And there was about 12 people after, our meeting that came up and said, hey, I'm struggling with diabetes. Hey, I'm struggling with obesity. I'm struggling with this. I even had a gentleman that was close to 500 pounds that broke down, that he couldn't even wipe his backside. And he was tired of his wife and his kids having to help him. And to see that man be so vulnerable, but willing to take a challenge and change things.
Yeah.
I mean, there was things going, but he was young enough where he wasn't diagnosed with anything. He was just a big boy.
Right.
And, and seeing that man put in that work and day in and day out, that's what it's all about. Life is going to throw you things. And the more you're like, hey, the work I put on myself, I'm going to put that on back burner. I can do it later because I got to deal with all this. Guess what? This life is for you. You keep putting yourself on the back burner, diabetes will say hello. Obesity will say hello. There's so many different things out there, heart disease, high blood pressure, all that. If you'll take the time, 30 minutes a couple times a week, and figure out what your body needs.
And when you really think about that, when you break it down like that, because everybody goes, I don't have time for the gym. I don't have time for
time.
I don't. But you know what? You have time to scroll on TikTok for 30 minutes. You have time to sit in front of the TV for 30. You know, I'm just as guilty. I am 100% just as guilty. But we all say we do not have the time. But it's because we make time for other things. That, you know, we'll make time to go do this, but we won't make time to go to the gym.
It's crazy because
it isn't because
when you break it
you
down,
call,
it makes your buddies sense. Up and 3 times a week. They'll, hey, let's go grab a beer. And
right,
you can be out for a beer for an hour, right? A couple beers
at least,
right?
Yeah.
But my thing is it's so hard to go and take care of yourself, right? 30 minutes, 45 minutes, a couple times a week. You know, hey, you know what? I'm eating this, but you know what? Now I feel like, you know, this is going on in my life. Now I'm emotionally eating. So there's so many different aspects of life that if you will focus on your balance, your equilibrium, your mental, physical, and spiritual, and really I can help with your physical side. You know, if you're right with God, you're right with God. You know, on the mental side, if you're not constantly growing, like they said in Shawshank Redemption, if you're not busy living, you're busy dying. My thing is, are you just surviving life, or are you really trying to live it? Are you a drain on the family, the grandbabies? Are they going to be taking care of you, or are you living life vigorously? This is my passion, is to make you better than what I found you. And there's so many people out there. The obesity rate in this country is 1 out of 3. You know, it's almost as bad as the divorce rate.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe if the obesity wasn't as bad, maybe the divorce rate wouldn't be so bad. I don't know.
Well, you know, you're right, but you bring up those 3 elements. You know, with faith and physical and mental. You know, if you have good faith and you have good physical aspect, you're giving yourself a better outlook on yourself. Your mental is just going to fall right into place.
Correct.
You wouldn't even really have to work it because it's automatically going to change the chemical makeup in your brain, and you're going to have a better outlook.
And those behaviors they don't come overnight. Sometimes, you know, you've had habits that have been instilled upon you, and to change those, sometimes it's hard to do it by yourself. What's wrong with having an accountability partner? What's wrong with having somebody that you know that they're in the same place in life, or even if it's not that, you don't have anybody. You know, you got somebody that is willing to educate you. You get the education, whatever, and whatever gets you into being more active. And I'm not saying it has to be a gym. It could be hiking. It could be walking the track. It could be doing things, you know, vigorously, walking the dogs. You can do things to keep yourself active. And I'll say it and I'll stress it. Those that live a more active lifestyle, that watch what they eat, that stay more vigorous, that enjoy life, you know, when it's time for your body to shut down, it takes about 6 months for it to die. For those that are unhealthy, that don't try to take care of themselves, that let life get in the way of them, I said it'll take about 10 years for you to die. So 2 things. 1, you want to die that slowly. 2, you want to put your family and friends through all of that in 10 years.
Right.
Or because my thing is, you're going to invest the money, $250,000, $500,000 on medical, or you can invest it in a $50 gym membership.
Right.
To me, it's crazy. But my thing is, if you always do what you've always done, you always get what you always got. If you don't have a pattern interruption, I can't make an impact. And that's what I love about being on the show. If you're listening, I got you. If you think that you got it and you're still struggling with life, you don't have to talk to me. Get you an accountability partner, get you something, because you're either busy living or busy dying.
Yeah. Great point, man. And that's what biker fitness is all about. We see it all the time. We see so many guys struggle to just even lift their leg off the bike, right? How many people you see, and they're going to get off the bike and they're like holding it back. They're stretching their shoulders because they're not conditioning themselves for the ride. You know, just like last week when we discussed biker inspection, when we talk about the inspecting your bikes, we had 17 bikes go down over here in Fort Worth, all due to a blown tire. Now, could have been prevented? Was there a nail in his tire? Was he in low pressure? We don't know that, and we may not know that. It could have been road debris. But maybe if he would have checked his tire, maybe he would have found a nail, a slow leak, wrong pressure, wouldn't have rode that day, you know, and saved those 17 people. Here, the same thing with, you know, you're going out on a long ride, right? Say you're not in that great shape and you're going to go on a 100, 200 mile ride throughout Texas, and all of a sudden your back spasms up while you're riding. You got an issue, right? Everybody knows, you know, once your back spasms or you get that kink in your neck, if you just turn your neck the wrong way, what's going to happen when you ride.
Something that I wanted to add too is I got to experience a session with Coach Ken that we had on the show.
Yeah.
You know, and I wish he would have dove more into the chakras and the energy on what he did.
We're going to get him back.
He will. But the cool thing was I was the guinea pig. You know, it was something that, you know, I don't have, you know, I didn't have a big understanding, didn't do a lot of research or education in, and he was so passionate about it. And when and I understand the body's energy, but the way that, you know, trapped energy, things that are affecting you. And when we went through that session, it was amazing. I mean, he went through it's 5 or 6 different chakras, and I felt 2 or 3 of them, and I understood what he was saying afterwards. Right. I felt a kind of a release on some things I was holding on emotionally. And that right there was just, you know, that was worth it. And I got another session. I'll keep you posted, but there's different things for, you know, for health, mental, physical, and we're all balls of energy, but it's pretty neat. I opened my mind to try something different, and it worked out. So those that are looking for, you know, what Coach Ken talked about, some, you know, worst case scenarios and also things that they're struggling with. If you are, reach out to him, because one session I felt a lot better. I really did.
That's awesome. Cool.
Thank you, Coach Ken.
Do you have the her report card with you?
Oh,
I really want, you know, I want to see the report card, because you have my report card, and you have her report card, and in a couple of weeks I want to get new report cards done, and then I want to see if anything has changed. Okay. All right, and then we'll see. You don't have to read my report card again.
I don't have to read yours again?
No.
Oh, come on.
I'm in remedial math.
He's in dad bod.
All right. Now,
this way it's taped live for everybody to see it.
All right. So the great thing is, we have almost a 6 foot tall beauty here. We got let's see, on the lean body mass, we had weight at 168. She thought she was closer to 175. Her age at 42. Bio age was at 39.
Whoa, look at that.
Yeah.
Little pickled.
Bio score.
Right? So
Alcohol's good for the soul.
Her
Let them tell you otherwise.
Now her BWI score was a 7.6 out of 10.
Okay.
Her total body fat percentage for women, 20 to 30 is the optimum range. She was at a 25.5%, which is optimal. Her visceral fat, which was optimal, was 40 to 80. She was at a 37. That's pretty good. Body fat mass, optimal was between 31 and 47. She was at a 43. Lean body mass, 125. Optimum is 106 to 129. Her protein was on point at 25.4. Optimum's 20.9, 25. And then total body water, you know, that's where that can get you. That's bloating and everything. But with her, I mean, 77.4 to 94.8.
No retention there.
And she was at a 90.
I thought I was dehydrated.
I mean, her balance on left and right on upper body was on point. You can show that she's right-handed or right-footed, so she had a little more on her right than left.
I got a limp, little pimp walk.
Little pimp walk. But you know,
strut.
The great thing is with this, doing a fitness consultation, it's a starting point.
Yeah.
Whatever the numbers are, they are.
You only had to hold on to these little things, and it put a
So
electric
like
current
when you went
through
in,
it.
when you went in there, right? Did you feel like, oh man, when this report gets out, it's going to be just
I thought it was
devastating,
terrible
the whole way.
Right.
Because I haven't set foot in anything. I've only
Right. And
but I told him, I was like, didn't scan my liver or my lungs, so everything else is okay.
but now that you see how good your report came out, right? It makes you feel like, wow, I can do better, right? Now it's not as bad. You're like, oh,
I
don't
feel like
have
I can just keep being lazy like I have been, because it says I'm optimal. So
yeah, well, optimal it's like, well, optimal is like dial up.
But
all right?
I will say
Something's
optimal. I will say at this age, at optimal, you have an amazing metabolism. But guess what? It's only a certain amount of time for that metabolism starts to go sleep on you. We got a call? Okay. Yeah.
Hey, welcome to 99. You are on air.
This guy scares me.
What?
Oh.
Okay.
This guy scares me. I'm scared to come in this
Oh,
video.
this is Johnny Rizzo with Motorcycle Mayhem.
This guy's looking at me.
What's up, Johnny?
New York.
What's up, guys? You know, I'm gonna come into the studio, and this guy's gonna look at me
You just say, first of all, put the rib down. Then it's going to make me go to the gym. That's not going to happen, all right?
It's not going to happen, not even once.
You can do it.
I'll go to Jim's Deli. I mean, I can do that.
I know a guy named Jim. Hey, you know what? Hey, Johnny, I heard if you change the name of your toilet to Jim, then you can brag and tell everybody you go to the gym 2-3 times a day.
Oh,
that's a great idea. Well, I also
Instead of John.
learned is if I put the word diet in front of something like diet pizza, okay, now it's okay.
They
to
have
eat.
that. It's a cauliflower crust, and then
Yeah, it makes it okay to eat.
yeah.
Well, Johnny, that's when there's certain
Exactly.
things I draw the line on, and sometimes I'll say it's more about portion control than what you eat.
That's true. But I can't wait to get down there, guys. I can't wait to come into the studio and hang out.
Yes,
Yes.
We're going to have a great time.
Yo, Johnny. I mean,
Johnny, I won't pick on you much. I promise. Just a little bit.
Flex is bringing a food truck for you. That's how much he wants to make a good impression on you.
Yes.
I'm going to
Bring
feed
the
you,
meat.
fatten you up, and then talk shit to you, Johnny.
Sounds like a show.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait for those ribs. I'm drooling over here.
Oh,
Okay? Some Texas ribs.
and then anybody who's listening throughout the DFW area, and even if you're further out, meet us at Will Hoyt's in Grapevine after the show for a meet and greet with Johnny Rizzo from Motorcycle Mayhem.
May 7th.
May 7th,
Wednesday.
right after the show. Wednesday, right after the show, man. Or come down to the studio. We'll have the barbecue truck outside, right?
Yes, sir.
We'll have the barbecue truck outside, and we'll be
Tailgate.
serving some great barbecue ribs. Or you can come out
Whatever it
Saturday
is.
and see it.
Yeah.
You know, if you can't make Saturday,
Come this weekend.
come
or
this weekend.
Wednesday.
Johnny, man, I can't wait. It's going to be a great time. Can't wait to have you and Dawn in studio. It's going to be amazing.
What I'm going to do.
Thank you,
Because
Johnny.
guys got great barbecue down there, I'm going to bring down, I'm going to put the pizza in my suitcase and bring it down from New York.
No, you know what you need to
No.
bring down? You need to bring down devil dogs.
Devil dog.
No, we have
No,
to go
actually,
down.
hey,
We need to
Johnny,
go up
hey,
there
Johnny,
for
you're
devil
coming from
dogs.
New York. I'll cheat on my diet. Bring me some of that good pizza.
No.
You know what I'm talking about.
No, we are not getting anything delivered because
Oh,
we have
no.
to do our own road trip. It's only fair if he's coming down here to eat Texas barbecue. We got to go up there and eat New York food.
You can't get devil dogs down here.
That's why we got to
What
go
do you
there.
mean
Is what I'm
to get devil
saying.
All right.
I got to tell you,
Wait,
I ate one
am I not speaking English?
Pipple just wants to get to New York.
Yeah, I just want a trip that somebody pays for.
hey, did you guys get your vest?
What?
Did what?
Did you guys get your vests yet?
No, not yet. Not yet.
What?
They were mailed out on Friday. They're probably home waiting for you.
What is it?
We
He
got some vests.
got some
We got
vests
some
from,
leathers.
from Leather Up. From
Wait,
Leather
Speaking
Up.
of free
wait,
stuff.
Johnny, what's up, buddy?
They don't make your size.
Yeah.
They don't have armholes
Mine's
for
just
that.
medium. I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm not even that big. The camera gains makes you gain like 10 pounds. I'm a medium, I promise.
Medium.
I'll tell you, I think I want to fit me. You don't want to fit anybody. So good.
Sweet.
All right.
Well, hey, when you get on the
not
show,
that bad,
yeah, don't forget about me. I got something for you too.
A report
I'm
card.
not bringing them. They were mailed. Uh-oh. All right, guys. Great
All
show
right.
tonight. I love the way the show looks. Pitbull, you're doing fantastic on there, by the way. I have to tell you.
Hey, flattery gets you
You're
everywhere. with
amazing.
Pitbull.
You guys are amazing.
Thank you, brother. Thank
Keep
you,
doing
brother. Don't make her blush so much.
No.
Give it more. Give it more.
No.
No, stop. Keep doing it.
All right, brother. We'll see you soon, man. You got to catch Johnny Rizzo on Motorcycle
you
Mayhem.
too. Just kidding.
He's also now on it's UK radio, motorcycle radio in the UK. I'll get you all that stuff, which now we are on with him on the motorcycle radio in the UK, hitting Australia, Spain, and all those great hot spots over in the Europe section across the pond. So it's going to be great.
Nice.
Road
Plane
trip.
trip?
Plane trip.
Plane trip.
All right, man. We're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to hear from Mike Cooper. Mike Cooper. I wanted to make sure I got that right. Cooper. See, that's an easy last name. If everybody
But
just
you
had the name
still-
of Cooper,
you still
Cooper.
delayed.
Well, no, I was just
It
checking
can't be that easy.
Can't be that easy. Mike Cooper. And we're going to discuss the history of the Indian motorcycle right after this. Hey everybody, it's Sideshow and Pitbull with the 99% Radio Network TV, powered by the OBBM Network and sponsored by Glenn Lawson Law Injury Attorneys. We are here today at Indian Motorcycle in Fort Worth, getting ready for an amazing event on May 3rd. Pitbull.
So at Indian Motorcycle, May 3rd, we're having the first ever Pinups and Pistons right here. We are going to have car show, bike show, loudest pipes, and a pinup contest, vendors, even celebrity judges. You don't want to miss this.
And a Warbird helicopter.
We got a helicopter coming.
Indian is so big on our veterans. They are really empowering. They want to make sure that they can do everything for our veterans. And this year, our title beneficiary is going to be Hunting with Soldiers. Hunting with Soldiers takes our combat veterans on fishing and hunting trips across the country to give them the healing network that they need amongst themselves. So money raised from this event will go directly to Hunting with Soldiers. Let's take a walk inside Indian and meet some of the people. So we are inside Indian Motorcycle where, as you can see, some of the most amazing bikes available. And when we spoke with Yolanda, there are so many veteran opportunities to get yourself a motorcycle that day or any other day, because they give many veteran discounts and incentives. So, Pitbull, I mean, this really ties into the whole Battling Betty vintage thing, because a lot of these motorcycles
look at the
are
pictures.
very vintage.
Look at all the vintage pictures too. I love it.
Yeah, so you got to join us here on May 3rd from 11 to 3.
11 to 3.
11 to 3. And we're here in Fort Worth, right off I-30. So come on down if you want to be a vendor, or if you want to register your classic car, 1970 and earlier, or your custom bike. Come on down. Hit us up.
If you want to be a vendor, food truck, anything like that, email us at live@99radio. Wait, shoot, what's our email? Live on 99 Network. I'll put it on the thing. We'll edit that out.
And
Edit
classy pinup.
Hold on, I got our email.
And do a classy pinup.
Radio. Oh yes, you're gonna edit all that.
So you knew that card would come in handy. So
if you want to be a pinup vendor, register your classic car or motorcycle. You're going to email us. You can get a hold of us on Facebook, or you can get a hold of us at liveon99radiotv.com.
Yeah, we want to see you. Come on out and support our veterans. Come out and support Indian Motorcycle, and come out and just support all our vendors and everybody that's going to have a great time. So catch us every Wednesday from 3 to 5 on FBRN.us or on the OBBM Network, Roku, and Apple TV. Until next Wednesday. Hey, welcome back to the 99% Radio Network here in the Fishbowl. Man, I want to welcome Michael Cooper. Welcome, man, for the show. You've been at a lot of our events. You've displayed some amazing old vintage motorcycles, and you brought some of your memorabilia here. So welcome to 99.
Glad to be here. You wanted me to talk a few minutes about the Indian Motorcycle Corporation.
Yeah.
They originally started their line in 1901 and ran to 1953 when they stopped producing the American-made Indians. The mark still lived on for about 10 more years after that, and they were selling British bikes. First Royal Enfields, Brockhouse Gorgie, and then they sold some Matchless under the Indian mark. Then the trade wars started with the name, and it got lost in the shuffle. Nothing was produced, and somebody held on to it for years and years. And then all of a sudden, a Taiwan company starts making mopeds for a little while in the 70s, and it disappears again. Then it comes up again, and they're made in California. And that lasted a few years, and then that was gone. And now, in 2014, they started the new Indian line, which is very good. I hope so, because I bought one. But the original line was built to last. There were hardly any safety features at all when they first started. It was basically a bicycle with a motor on the rear wheel, and the gas tank was right behind the seat, so safety was not thought of at all. There were no protectors for the muffler. The brakes were mere suggestion.
A lot of calf burns.
Oh, yeah. And I think some of those guys could reach their knees out and steer the handlebars. But they started with a single cylinder. Harley-Davidson didn't come along till about 4 or 5 years later. The most interesting thing is that between 1901 and 1953, when the bikes stopped being produced, you would be amazed at how many engineers thought of new ways to do things and the transformation that it made in 1953. They had twins, V-twins. They had singles that were powerful. They had a 4-cylinder inline that was smoother than a sewing machine. In fact, the Indian fours, they called them the Duesenbergs of the motorcycles. Now, I'm not talking about power. I'm talking about smoothness on the road and reliability. Harley-Davidson beat them out because they went to the overhead valve system, and Indian, because of budget and because of a lot of things, they just didn't make that jump. So Harley went off and left them, especially after World War I and World War II. There were a lot of bad business things done, which caused the company to drown out. But that's neither here nor there. I'm mainly going to talk about some of the bikes that if you come out this weekend, you will see. I will have a 1941 inline 4-cylinder, which was the next to the last year that they made them. They stopped making them in 1942. This was the greatest 4 that everyone wants. It's got all the bells and whistles on it that they thought were improvements, and they are. It was top of the line. But to put it in context, you could buy a new 4-cylinder in 1941 for $1,095.
Oh.
You could buy a brand new Buick V8 Buick car for less than $1,000. Oh, wow. So it cost too much to produce it. You had to be either rich or the police departments had it.
Yeah.
The nice thing about having a 4-cylinder was no matter what car you drove, a policeman would be standing beside his 4-cylinder, and all he had to do was lean back and put his pedal on the 4 crank, and it would start. And he would catch you. There was no contest. He would catch you that fast. And not only that, it had a trip counter on the speedometer. It had a third little lever that was red. And what would happen was, as he gathered speed to catch up with your car, it would drag this little red needle and then stop. And as soon as he let off the gas, that red needle would stop there, and he had proof that you were going that fast.
So almost like a early warning radar system.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean,
wow.
He would have the person get out of the car and come back and say, see,
that's where
that's proof that you were driving that fast.
Now, did Indian have did they manufacture them in Fort Worth at one time off of Blue Mountain, or was that another deal?
No.
They were never in the state of Texas?
No.
Right.
The one Springfield,
He let me know. I don't doubt it.
Springfield, Mass was where the wigwam was, and that's what they called the company. I don't know. They showed how they manufactured them, and they actually had, this is modern innovation, they actually had these rails that had these carts with wheels and boards across them, and as they put on a few parts, they would push it manually to the next stage.
That was an old-time assembly line.
Yes, that was their assembly line. And when they improved the bike for the next year, they didn't just put on the new parts. They used the leftover parts they had for taillights and stuff on those models until they ran out. So there was no waste. But also on the other side of that, if you wrecked your bike and you wanted a taillight or a headlight that fits yours, you were going to have to start doing some digging, which is what we do now. You will see a 1941 inline 4 there. You will see a 1950 Indian Chief, which is their big V twin. And in 1950 to 53, they had a brilliant idea. They decided to put hydraulics on the front, and they didn't change the frame. So when they put these hydraulics on the front end, it naturally lifted the front end a little bit. So if you looked at it from the side, it looked like a chopper. And most of the kids and everybody, even to the age where the choppers were around, you loved it because it had that rake. It looked like it was extended.
At this book.
Yeah.
That's kind of
That's it right there.
That's kind of what you're talking about, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because I'm like looking and going, that's what he's describing.
So I know you have the yellow one and the white one. Are we talking? I know. I'm educated on it. But he's got two cool ones that are.
You got a cool yellow one and a cool orange one.
The yellow one is a 4-cylinder, but you haven't seen the rainbow blue.
I didn't think so. Oh no, I don't think I have.
Well,
I love the little compact ones.
That's his baby. That is a pretty cool one. Tell us about that
The
one.
compact ones that. The
fold
suitcase
up, the one that folds up.
Yeah.
Well, when Indians stopped making the American ones, they were grasping at straws. And Brockhouse Gorgie, that was produced in England, said, "Hey, we've got these two little motorcycles, and I mean little motorcycles, that we'll let you sell under your name." So they brought them over here. They painted them red. They put Indian mark on them, and they changed. One was called a Brave, and it was a regular motorcycle looking single cylinder. The one that was small was a little ex-paratroopers bike that they built for the British paratroopers to drop out of airplanes in those torpedoes. And you folded it out, and they said it was every man's motorcycle, you know. And the original model did not have a clutch, and it did not have gear shift. You just started the engine and went. So
like mini bike.
Yeah, but Indian was top of the line. Indian had a 2-speed transmission on it, and, you know, it dressed it up, made it a little prettier. Anyway, this one is going to be there. The Indian people may burn it out in the parking lot, but I figured to give you an idea of how far they fell, you know, I would bring the little British one out there, too. The other one is that 50 Chief, and it's got a rainbow blue paint job on it. And you could... They Indian advertised that any color that DuPont made, they would paint it that color. All you had to do was request it. Except if you wanted something really special, you could spend $100 more and get it painted in rainbow red or rainbow blue. And it went from a yellow to turquoise to blue in color. Or
faded in? Or, oh wow, okay.
It's gorgeous.
Ombre is what
and then the red was from yellow to orange, and there were only 2 places in the United States that you could have it painted. Well, I hunted some guy who said he was crazy enough to try it, and it took him 3 tries. So this is as close as we could get. There, there's a picture of it right there.
Oh wow! Now. This is the saddlebag? Is that a saddlebag? No,
nope, that's a fender.
That's the fender. Wow.
Chain guard, pardon me.
The chain guard. Look, that is gorgeous, man.
Now, these are 40 models.
I don't know if you'll be able to see that on the
Those big fenders are what they call mud-skirted fenders, and they started in 1940, and they went to 53. Everyone loves it now. Everybody loved it then. But during the years when they were chopping them and bobbing them, they either cut them, squashed them, put them up in the attics and threw them away. Now the real collectors are looking for them, an original fender, because a lot of people don't know, but they remanufacture a lot of these parts. The problem is if you go to a judge will know right off if it's a reproduction or not. You can take an old fender that's squashed flat, beat it out, repaint it, and it still counts as points. But if you put a reproduction, they take those points off. So any old part that you find, even if it's been cut, if you add to it, it's a good part. Okay. So a lot of these people threw these things away in scrap yards or just threw them away, period. But those parts are still worth something. They're so good. Hopefully a lot of people will have old parts somewhere and notify somebody.
Now, how long have you been collecting?
I've been riding
and collecting, yeah.
I've been riding, collecting around motorcycles for 55 years.
Wow.
I started listening to my dad. He started when, before he met my mother, putting out the Texas gas pipeline through Arizona. But my dad bought his first Indian when I was about 8 years old, or around 8, 10. In McGregor, Texas, and that was that 50 Chief. When in 1971 came along, he bought the 4-cylinder, and he paid $1,000 for it.
Yeah, but $1,000 back then too was huge. That was a lot of money back then.
It was considered junk because nobody had repair parts for him. Nobody, not that many people knew how to fix them. Now we have the internet, we have videos, we have people that are making reproduction parts, and we have clubs that if you have an old bike, you don't have to think that you're lost. You can actually contact these clubs, and they will bring you in and tell you where the experts are and the old people that will help you out. There's some old manuals over here from 1940 and 41. One thing you will not see in those manuals are pictures. They have drawings.
I'm lost.
Everything is written.
You got to read.
On how to break apart the engine, how to other. But pictures, there aren't any. But you can go to some of these meets, and they'll sit down around a campfire and spill their guts, and you say, oh, I've got this terrible problem. The next morning, you'll see 4 or 5 of these guys sitting on pickle buckets out there with their screwdrivers helping you fix it.
Wow.
You know what's crazy back in the day with those manuals, and then it was crazy because manuals would show you how to set your points on your car.
Oh, yeah.
Now it tells you don't drink the battery, the fluid.
Don't drink.
What's the Chilton's book. The Chilton's book is like this big,
Right.
Well, most of these things were learn as you go, and that's one thing I've learned is that I used to think I was the youngest guy in the club when I first started. I took my dad's number and started going to the Indian 4 Club, and I was the youngest guy there that I thought. Nowadays, I'm an old fogey like the rest of them. But you see these guys, and the first thing you think of them is these guys are nuts because they're driving these guys without helmets around in the loops, out there showing their bikes. Mm-hmm. And but they are just full of knowledge, and it's free for the asking. They'll sit down with you long time and help you fix or provide anything that you need. These other things that are on the table here are things that I've collected, and I have a room full of them. My wife assures me that the room is full, that sort of fall by the wayside. The magazine, Indian motorcycle magazines, when they started, there was only one issue for each of the Indian dealers. But they found out that when the wars came along, these guys needed stuff to read. So all of a sudden it explodes, and they make thousands of issues of the once through the war years on magazines that they could send overseas to the troops.
Either Indians or Pinups, one or the other.
Yeah.
And we have both on May 3rd.
That's right.
She asked me to bring what helmets I had, and this is it. This is when it all started.
This is the helmet, man.
This was their protection. The one thing that went.
Ricky Bobby!
Hey.
Ricky Bobby!
Hey, boss. Can we
wait, what was the one?
Can we get away with this
Bobby,
advertisement today?
Bobby
Boucher.
Bobby Boucher. Bobby Boucher.
Hey, Sideshow Pitbull, can we get away with this advertisement today?
Oh, no, man. You couldn't get away with that.
We couldn't do Indians on Indians?
I'm surprised they didn't rename Indian something else. I mean,
because of all
the changing the names. My hometown, right in New York, they have the Massapequa Chiefs, great football team, and they had to change their names because of all that crap. Mm-hmm. That advertisement, we had to get rid of the smoking Indian, saying don't set campfires anymore and the whole bit. And
when he had the tear in his eye.
Or trash. Or
I
trash.
love that you keep trying to think your head's gonna get in there anymore. I love that you keep thinking it's gonna get tighter.
So I started
It's on.
collecting. I started collecting everything that had to do with first old Indians and then motorcycles. That is an actual package of gaskets for Indian.
right here?
You're right, and the original packaging. That actually one of the dealers that was out at one of the meets I went to just gave me one because I didn't have that.
A set of gaskets.
Up there in the front are some actual tools that used to fit in the toolbox, one of the buckles. And then I found out that a lot of books started having old pictures of old motorcycles. This is 1914, and it actually shows what they say is a 15-year-old boy in there, which shows that there was nobody in their right mind, I thought, would put their 15-year-old kid on a motorcycle.
I put my 9-year-old on one.
I put my 6-year-old daughter on one.
But
5-year-old. She did
my
great.
father,
I don't even know if the brakes
my
work
father
that
had
well.
2 bikes, big bikes. He had the 50 and he had the 4-cylinder. And my feet could not touch the ground on the 50. So he throws me the keys and says, well, I need you to be riding a faster bike when I go out in the country. So he taught me how to ride the 4-cylinder at 14 years old. And everybody says, at 14, your dad trusted you? And I said, yeah, he was a crazy man.
I don't know if it was about trust. He just wanted you to do it and needed you to do it.
Yeah.
But,
I just dig the vintage look, man. Everything about it.
I like
the
yes.
slickness of the tanks. There's just
You have to.
The retro
the
look.
yeah, it's definitely.
You have to love jigsaw puzzles because usually most people get an old bike and it's a basket case, which means that it's 80% there. And you've got to look for all the little pieces. I've spent 8 years looking for one tail light that was the right one. So,
well, that's what being a collector is all about. You know, it's the hunt.
Oh yeah,
it's definitely that's the juice right there. It's the hunt for that piece. You know.
The 4-cylinder is in a coffee book that you can pick up at Barnes and Noble. He got shocked when the guy called him and wanted to photograph it. He had one of the best in the country.
Wow.
Fully restored.
the nice thing about 4s is that last meet we had, I think we had 70 plus Indian 4s out there, and Excelsior and Henderson made some 4-cylinders in the Ace. Yeah, it looked like that. But they all look the same except for color. But if you are a collector, you start noticing there's individual differences.
Yeah, I noticed that more.
And I said, that's the best thing is because if that bike has somebody else riding it, that guy's going to pull out the phone and say, hey,
yeah,
did you sell your bike?
Now, I get flashbacks right now to that picture, that iconic picture of James Dean. Was he on an Indian or was he on a Triumph when he rode up? Was
Triumph?
It was a Triumph he was on.
Well, that's what he would.
I don't remember. James Dean.
Let's ask the Google.
Yeah, we'll have to ask
So
Google.
you happen to have a movie buff and a motorcycle buff in front
And you
of you.
stumbled.
Yeah.
Marlon Brando was on
Marlon
Triumph.
Brando, not James Dean. Or James Dean. Marlon Brando, yeah. Marlon Brando.
Marlon Brando was on a Triumph.
Oh, Triumph, okay.
Still, it's Triumph.
Lee Marvin was on a Harley Davidson.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, there's a lot of them. They take poetic license on a lot of them. Even the Fonz, on his first episode with Happy Days, he drove a Harley Davidson, but they said he crashed it several times, so they had to go to a lighter bike. And then it didn't show him riding it; it just showed him sitting on it. So some people are just unable to handle it. So the nice thing about a 4-cylinder and the old Indians is they have running boards. And as a 14-year-old, I remember letting the bike do all the work when there was chug holes and standing on the running boards and balancing the bike between me as I went through all this weird ground, you know. But it was so stable that as long as the throttle was going, you could take your hand off the throttle and the bike would just go straight right down the road. In fact, if I'd have fallen off, the bike would still keep
So
going.
just say, see ya.
Yeah, because
I
there
see
was
ya.
no spring to bring it back. You put the throttle on, it stayed there until you pushed it off.
So next week, well, actually not next week, Saturday, which is the beginning of next week. No, that's be Sunday.
Johnny, you got him all excited. He
May
can't think of
3rd.
anything but Wednesday.
Saturday, May 3rd at Indian Fort Worth Indian Motorcycle,
820.
you're going to be able to see all this display. What are some of the things that you do not have here? I know the motorcycles, but will be on display. You'll have the books, some tools, some vintage stuff. What else? Anything you could share, or any surprises?
No, just basically the 3 bikes and us. But the bikes themselves, once you see them and are close to them, it says a story all by itself. Because Indian back then, they were going reliable, strong. One quick story I'll tell you is that when my father had a Chief, he sold it to get a car back when he was doing the pipeline in this small little town. And the guy he sold the Chief to was racing it up and down in front of the general store. A guy on a brand new Triumph that he had bought came in sideways, and that Chief T-boned him right in the intersection. By the time my father got out there, you could see one of the pistons in the Triumph sticking out. But the Chief was laying on its side, still running.
Still running.
They picked it up, straightened the handlebars, and the guy drove off.
Built to last. Built to
American
last.
iron.
Well, Mike, I want to thank you for everything. I can't wait to see the display all set up at Fort Worth Indian on May 3rd.
Come out and pick his brain.
Huh?
Wow. I said, come out and pick his brain.
Yeah.
Right?
Yo,
love this.
If you want to know anything about collecting, or you want to know how to get parts, and maybe you're just new to this and this is something you want to venture into, chat with Mike. He's got 50 years experience on this. Probably knows where to
All of it.
get everything you need.
How to begin.
Yeah, and how to begin. Pick his brain. He's a vast of knowledge, man. Mike, thank you so much for being part of the show.
Thank you.
I appreciate it, and thank you for bringing all this stuff today.
And this is my VP's daddy from Better Than Buddies. Yeah. So just had to throw that out there, Jessica.
Yeah.
Family thing. Well, our family has been, because it was my grandfather and then my father, my brother, who's an Air Force officer, retired now, he does some too. And because of that, they have been honored at the Tiffin, Ohio Antique Motorcycle Meet before. It was a few years ago. We got a Family Heritage Award for all of our activities and participants.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
That is huge. That's huge.
That's big deal.
It's part of
That's
the
huge.
family.
Man, you find your passion and be recognized for it and share it with others, and that's what it's all about. That's what the 99 is all about, where the rubber meets the road. We can make a difference together. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with the famous vintaged Mongolog right after this.
Here we go, Mom. Great job,
The reason why I made the decision to found and open Glenn Larson Law is for one simple reason. Every single client deserves to have their voice heard, their recovery made, and most of all, the closure and the compensation that they deserve. It has been my personal mission and personal dedication to making sure that every single thing we do with every ounce of loyalty, honor, certainty, and absolute unity to make sure that our client's story is told every single time. This is why I founded Glenn Larson Law.
Me and Glenn go way back. We first met in middle school. We were in high school together. We also worked together in college, waiting tables our first couple of years of school. And so we worked in the service industry together for a few years. So that kind of kept our tight bond together.
At Glenn Larson Law Injury Attorneys, we are passionate about serving our clients by honoring their stories, their voices, and their recovery. Our firm is built on the foundational principles of honor, certainty, passion, unity, and loyalty. To achieve our vision, we uphold our loyalty to our clients, each other, ourselves, our families, and our clients' families and friends in every single thing that we do. We are dedicated to providing exceptional support and guidance, ensuring that every client's journey is respected and valued. With absolute certainty, we stand ready. Call us. We are here to serve you in your time of injury, to make sure that you receive the compensation, the closure, and most of all, that your story is told.
Mongo! Santa Maria!
Never mind that shit. Here comes Mongo.
Hey, welcome back, Mongo.
What's going on?
What's going on, brother?
Hey, good show so far.
Not too bad. What'd
Thank
you
you.
What'd you think of that? What'd you think about the Indian history, man?
Yeah, you know what? It was really good. I've always liked Indians, but I've always looked at Indians and go, "Whoop, can't afford that." So I don't touch, but they're nice to look at.
But you can't.
Can you raise his mic volume a little? I'm just having a little issue hearing him. Oh, you're good.
I can hear you.
No, we just had to put the speaker a little louder for you.
Okay.
I hear an egg.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've always liked looking at them, but they've always been out of my price range, so I've never touched them. But they're pretty bikes.
Yeah, man, he's got. I wish you were down here for this event because he's got some beautiful, beautiful motorcycles that he's going to bring to Fort Worth Indian to show off and display with all this vintage stuff, and it's amazing. I love to look at all this stuff because it's so retro, man.
Retro,
you know, retro, like this little helmet.
Well, the hat, the
hat,
buttons,
everything.
all of the things. I love it. I'm gonna steal that hat.
So your Mongo log, man, have
I know better.
So your Mongo log, are we up to date? Are we not up to date?
He's always
it's
anything big happen that changed your Mongo log?
This does not involve current events. This involves everyday life that we're all should be concerned with.
All right.
All right. So here we go.
So sit back, relax, grab your whiskey and a stogie, and let's get into the Mongo log.
All right. The Mongo log is plastics in our brain.
Oh.
It's no secret, but we savor a delicious piece of fish or a platter of seafood. We're not just consuming valuable omega-3s and vitamin D. Alongside these benefits come less appetizing elements, countless micro and nanoplastics. Since the 1950s, plastic production has grown exponentially. This has led to massive amounts of what we used and deposited in our landfills, lakes, rivers, and ultimately our oceans. An invisible invasion by land, air, and sea. No, it's not the Marines, because that would actually be awesome. It's an invisible invasion of microscopic plastic pieces that are in the food that we eat, the air that we breathe, and the water that we drink, whether it's bottled or not. Sometimes these small particles are only the width of a human hair. Microplastics are the insidious byproduct of everyday items. Tiny particles of plastic have been found everywhere, from the deepest places on the planet, the Mariana Trench, to the top of Mount Everest. Nearly all plastics are made from fossil fuel sources. These microplastics are everywhere, even in our bodies. There could be chemicals in microplastics that we don't really know that much about because the government doesn't require the chemicals used in plastics and other materials be comprehensively tested for safety. These plastic particles, measuring less than 5 millimeters, enter our oceans through human waste and penetrate the food chain. Over time, wind, waves, sunlight, and microorganisms break down the larger plastic waste into microplastics, which are 1 to 5 millimeters, and nanoplastics, which are smaller than 100 millimeters. These plastics now contaminate all parts of the environment, including the air, soil, and water. These particles are found in all marine organisms, from microalgae to fish, which occupy higher levels of the food chain. The phenomenon not only threatens marine ecosystems, but also raises concerns about potential risk to human health. Plastics ingested by marine animals inevitably make their way into our food supply. Frequent seafood consumers are estimated to ingest thousands of microplastic particles annually. Although research to the precise health effects in humans is ongoing, some troubling hypotheses have emerged. Studies on human cells indicate that micro and nanoplastics can disrupt cellular functions in ways similar to the effects seen in marine organisms. Additionally, micro and nanoplastics can also act as carriers for pathogens or bacteria, potentially increasing the risk of infectious diseases. A recent study revealed the average human brain may contain the equivalent of a whopping 5 plastic bottle caps worth of microplastics, or roughly 7 grams. Currently, there is a floating garbage patch of plastic halfway between Hawaii and California. It covers an area that is twice the size of Texas. This floating patch of plastic is just the largest of 5 offshore plastic accumulation zones around the world's oceans. The terrible impact on marine and wildlife species alone is obvious. Plastic pollution, however, isn't just an ocean issue anymore. It's a lot closer to home than you might think. More concerning still, researchers have observed higher levels of microplastics in the brains of people with dementia. Similar plastic particles have also been found in the human placenta, bloodstream, and even in babies' first stool. Now, just a quick sidebar since we're talking about stools. During the course of my career in law enforcement while working narcotics, I've had the distasteful experience of waiting for a douchebag drug dealer to release the balloons of heroin that he ingested into his digestive tract as we were crashing down his door. I sat with this dumbass in the hospital waiting for him to either die of an accidental overdose or shit enough balloons of heroin to send him to prison for a few years. I was wearing a surgical mask, gloves, and very long pair of surgical forceps. He had been forced to drink a concoction that would deliver my evidence via this ass's ass. One of the less glamorous tasks that I performed as a narcotics detective was not puking, but defiantly gagging while fishing through a bucket of human shit in a hospital examination room to recover 50 or so balloons of heroin. Working as a narcotics detective isn't as glamorous as depicted by Crockett and Tubbs. I've also never wore any fancy cotton Miami-style clothes while driving around town in a Lamborghini. TV cops are so phony. Now, let's get back to today's subject. There are laboratory workers who examine a baby's first stool looking for nanoplastics that have passed from mother to the just newborn child in the name of scientific research. To them, I say kudos and I feel your pain. Once these microplastics enter the human body, some particles are so small that they can pass through the critical barriers and lodge in organs like the lungs, breast milk, and the brain. While scientists haven't yet nailed down how much plastic is too much, research findings suggest that even the smallest amount is nothing short of dangerous. Jamie Ross, PhD, is a neuroscientist and assistant professor at the University of Rhode Island College of Pharmacy. She's essentially a nerd with way more brain capacity than me, as well as the foresight to use said capacity, more than I will ever have. For example, I still think that locking my truck's door windows while driving down the road before I fart to watch my friend's reaction is hilarious. She's probably more mature than this type of juvenile behavior. She contaminated the drinking water of lab mice. She was shocked with her almost immediate observations. In just 3 weeks, Ross and her team found microplastics had found their way into the mice's brains, passing the robust defenses of the blood-brain barrier. So far, experts say that little is known and understood about the exact impact of microplastics have on the human health. Recent studies have drawn associations between microplastics and serious health outcomes, including cardiovascular disease and low male fertility. Chemicals found in plastics are known to cause a variety of health problems, which include memory loss, cancers, reproductive concerns, hormonal and immune system disruption, metabolic disorders, cognitive decline, attention deficit and hyperactivity disorder, developmental problems, and infertility issues, just to name some of the more recognizable issues. The findings aren't entirely surprising. Plastics are all around us, durable, versatile, and cheap to manufacture. They are in our clothes, electronics, tires, packaging, and so many more items of daily use. Though durable plastics do degrade by weathering from water, wind, sunlight, or heat, as in ocean environments or in landfills, plastic particles are also intentionally added to cosmetics like lipstick, lip gloss, and to improve their feel and finish. Plastics are also added to personal care products such as face scrubs, toothpaste, and shower gels for the cleansing and exfoliating properties. When washed off, these microplastics enter the sewage system. They are treated in water and released into the waterways and end up in the sewage sludge from wastewater treatment plants, which is then used to fertilize agricultural lands. We produce hundreds of millions of tons of plastic every year, most of which cannot be recycled. Single-use plastics are used only once before they are thrown away. Up to 50% of plastics that we use are single-use items. The challenges ahead are, damn it, fucking thing, God damn it, hang on a second, folks. The challenges ahead are multifaceted. We have to understand all the sources and the complex ecosystems of microplastics. We have to understand the full scope of health impacts as we work to address the potential problems. We must also take care to introduce another threat, a different downstream effect created by substituting a microplastic with something that ultimately poses other health risks. We can't have blinders on. We must always look at the big picture in order to mitigate risks wisely. It's obvious that we need to use less plastic, move towards environmentally sustainable products and services, as well as come up with technology and recycle plastics more efficiently. What's the answer? I have no idea. I'm not that bright. Remember, I still think it's funny watching my friends fart in a vehicle. And that, my friends, is that. Whiskey improves with age. I improve with whiskey. My name is Mongo. Whiskey goes in, wisdom comes out. I smoke cigars and I know things. Mongo is out, and now back to you in the studio.
On the brain.
I'm back.
He's in California.
You know, I'm just going to go back to my detective training. You said 50-ish bags. Like in California, when you guys count 50-ish, is it like, we're going to voucher 50 and take 5? Is that the ish?
Well, you have to remember, too, this was a long time ago in my career, and I've been shot in the head since then, so my memory sometimes isn't the best. I recollect that I collected a lot of heroin out of that bucket of shit. So, enough said.
I got you. What happens after retirement stays that way, right?
That's right.
But no, that you're bringing up some good points, and you know, Flex was kind of whispering in my ear over here, and he's telling me about, you know, everything you're bringing up is so true, and you know, Flex, you want to talk about the diabetes and the Alzheimer's?
Well, actually, you were talking about the Alzheimer's, and even, you know, Lou Gehrig's, they were talking about a new, it's a diabetes type 3 that shuts off oxygen to the brain, where actually those are byproducts of that. And then also where it coincides with you talking about, you know, the plastics, 100% from the oceans, how we digest it. You're on point, Mongo.
Oh yeah, and you know, and the one thing I told my wife, I said, there's a lot of things that we can't avoid, but one of the things that we are trying to really hard to do here is, you know, we have leftovers, we put in the refrigerator in a plastic container, we take it out of the refrigerator, we put it in the microwave, heat it back up, and then eat it. From now on, we're trying not to heat anything in the microwave in a plastic container, but actually use a microwavable dish or container as opposed to Tupperware. Because it's real easy to do, but I try not to.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and once again, it's just all about a matter of convenience, taking down that microwavable bowl, and then I got to wash it or whatever.
You got to wash something extra, right?
I just throw it away.
Just throw away a bowl.
It's been in there a week. I'm like, hey, it's gone.
You know, and
I'm gonna have environmental.
Flex just killed me with this one because, you know, I go through grated cheese in my house like crazy, and you know, with all the pasta we eat, and like you said, man, and I heard that once before.
Yeah, store-bought shredded cheese, you're guaranteed to find sawdust in it as a filler. So if you're going to buy your cheese from the store, make sure you get the blocks. Don't get the shredded cheese.
Shred your own cheese.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you know, once again,
you actually get more for the dollar amount. It's because it's like $1.50 for a block, and you can get so much more shredded cheese for the bag.
But it's
all about convenience, but shredded
cheese. Well, what
cheese.
sucks is you don't have that waiter going, just tell me when, sir.
What's that song? Parmesan, but I'm embarrassed. Remember that song? No?
No, I don't remember
American
that song.
Got Talent? Anybody else?
I remember the
Love my
Olive Garden
Parmesan?
making his arm go sore.
Yeah.
Just keep going. No, keep it up. Keep it up. More.
You know, I would hate to have that job, man, because it's like you get someone that really loves you. Just, I'll let you know.
I ran out. We'll go to the back and get some more. Get back here. We're in this together.
The pepper guy.
We'll get through this. We'll get
it together.
You know, Mongo, once again, man. Hey, what are your views on this thing that came out? And I don't know if you're gonna write about it or whatever, about the helicopter pilot failing to take orders, and with the Black Hawk that hit the American Airlines. She failed to take orders and turn out of the way. She was told multiple times by her instructor.
I saw a story about that female pilot, but I did not read it. I'm sure I've got it saved because I see stories all the time, and I send the email, then I put it in a file. So yeah, I'll have to read that because I don't know the details on that, but that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I heard that today, and it was heartbreaking to think that because she defied an order that this is what happened.
That's why you follow the rules.
You know, and they said it was her instructor. So I guess the guy who was her co-pilot was also her instructor. She was on a training mission,
right?
And she failed to obey that order, and she had like 20 seconds, 15 seconds. Now I don't know how much that is in flight time, but I think that's enough time to at least dive or turn or.
Well, yeah, it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're in the moment, everything seems to kind of slow down.
Yeah,
a little bit, I think.
Well, maybe do some research and let us know your feelings on that next week.
That's your assignment.
I'm on it.
All right. All right. Mongo, once again, thank you. Oh, I got your package in the mail, and I do appreciate that a lot.
I didn't get your package in the mail.
My puppies are happy.
Oh.
Puppy treats.
He sent him. Oh, I thought he sent him peanut butter.
I was just curious.
Puppy treats. No, California's got the good puppy treats for the dogs during the storm.
The special peanut butter.
The special peanut butter puppy treats.
Wink, wink.
Not that I use the U.S. mail service to send it to you.
No,
Did you have to hide it in a shampoo bottle? Special treats.
No, you said to buy the cargo ships.
Right. Yeah, Mongo, I'm still old school. You can send it to me via pigeon. We're good.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'll take Owl Express.
No, because you know what's weird is there's certain things at Petco.
Calming stuff?
It's the calming stuff at
Ooh,
Petco.
I need that stuff.
Right. So he told us about this great calming stuff for storms for the dogs, and Tara went to go buy it at our Petco.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't sell it
because it's him stuff, probably.
I don't know. It's probably got
it's
an
weird.
Elevated thing of.
Don't lie.
But in California, it's legal. Here, it's not. Yeah. It's weird that for a dog, you want to calm your dog down, but you know.
Yeah, we get the good stuff at our Petco, and our Costco has good alcohol.
No.
And you what?
Our Costco has good alcohol too.
Yes, they do.
We got alcohol at Costco.
What percentage is it in California?
Oh no! It's just you can actually get it at Costco. You don't have to go to Specs or.
Yep.
Yeah,
you don't even have to have a membership. You can actually just go straight to the liquor, right?
Yep.
I'd let you have a membership.
Well,
the bottles are a little bit bigger too.
Hey, Mongo, did you hear about that young lady that went bungee jumping? She jumped over the body of water, and it was actually alligator infested or crack infested, and the bungee cord snapped. She hit the water, and I mean it looked like it was more kind of a flow because I mean rocks and everything, but they actually were able to retrieve her. She was pretty banged up. Did you hear anything about that?
I have not heard about that. That doesn't sound fun.
No, we saw the aftermath, but she made it. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I need gummies for my dog.
And I was just corrected. It wasn't Petco. It was Chewy.
We are not supporting any of them. We're not talking about any of them.
It was Chewy. But it was
They're
Chewy's
not sponsoring us until you sponsor us. We're not saying
that's
your
right.
name.
Oh, definitely
Dog
not.
place.
Did the wife correct you?
The wife corrected me.
She
Yep.
good
job,
I
Tara.
thought she meant she ate it and said it was chewy. So I was like, oh, well, how was it, Tigger? How long did that last? Just kidding. So I was like,
all right, Mongo, I want to thank you again, man. Can't wait till next week. You're going to miss our food truck that's going to be here next week at the station for our little tailgate party.
That's Texas barbecue there, Mongo. I don't know if you missed that or you mouth waters. It's okay. I understand.
Yeah.
California, that's a long way, and they don't understand barbecue like we do. It's fine.
And reach out to.
I understand what I'm missing.
Yes.
sir.
You guys just don't get the tri-tip out there like we get out here.
Say that again, Mongo.
He said, I miss Texas barbecue, but you guys don't get tri-tip as easily as we do out here.
Oh,
that is true.
I'll give you that.
That is true.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, you know, he's also eating some good barbecue because back when he was in Texas, where he lived. Big Rome's Barbecue.
Yeah, right down the street.
Oh man,
Big
Rome, man.
Yeah.
He has got some of the best barbecue in town.
Everybody that does barbecue have big in front of their name. Big Love, Big Rome.
Yeah,
big...
yeah, right. Yeah,
if it's in Texas, probably.
Yeah, but Big Rome, and we gotta get Faustino here in the studio soon. We're gonna talk about he's got some amazing cigars. So he had some good hookups back then, some good barbecue and some cigars. So we're gonna get that in the next couple of weeks as well.
Sounds good.
All right, thanks, brother.
Thanks,
Talk to you
We'll
soon.
see y'all next week.
All right. Woo. What a show, man. I want to thank Mike Cooper with our history on Indian.
Amazing,
You want to
Mike.
learn more about this, come to Pinups and Pistons on May 3rd, right over at Fort Worth Indian Motorcycle. It starts at
11 to 10.
11 to 10.
We got pinup contest, car show, bike show. Registration starts at 9 a.m. for the cars and bikes. First come, first serve. $30 registration. All the proceeds collected from the car and bike fee goes directly to Hunting with Soldiers. We are going to have a lot of vendors, education vendors. I think we're going to have axe throwing and everything.
Yep.
And then we have the food trucks.
I want you to bring up a little PSA. There is something going on
yeah.
Facebook right now for pre-registration for this.
There's no pre-registration. There's nobody else doing anything with the Pinups and Pistons. It is all me. It's Pitbull. You email me. So nobody else. If you see anything else, it's not us.
Pitbull caught a pilferer trying to scam some money out of people using.
They're trying to say there's a registration, that late registration fee. Get a hold of them. That is fake. Do not get a hold of them. You are talking to me with vendors, Pinups.
Yep.
Everything is through me. So do not contact that Michelle, whatever her name is.
Yeah. You can register at the event. What time's registration?
Registration is just first come, first serve, 9 a.m. You line up. We got about 50 some spaces. So get there if you want to be in there. Cars and bike. We got a little bit more spaces for the bikes, obviously. But yeah, 9 a.m. You just start up. You get there, you get your ticket in the window, and win some cool prizes. We got some custom made trophies coming from Lincoln Tech, made from some Pistons that you have collected.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. It's
Cool
gonna be
Pappy. Cool Pappy.
Pappy.
Brought us some Pistons that link the Lincoln Tech High.
And they're going to be setting up there. They'll have them on display. It's going to be nice.
Yeah. So
and I set the categories too. If you look at the event, I have the categories for the bikes and cars listed. So what we're looking for, like best interior, best restored, best paint. So those are the categories. It's on our page.
And you could also register that day to be a pinup. Walk the catwalk and get some.
We do take walk-ins for the pinups. What you're trying to say?
We're gonna do walk-ins. The celebrity judges are looking to get a whole bunch of people out there because they really want to make this a fun event for everybody. Family friendly. Remember, it's family friendly.
Mm-hmm.
So
keep it classy, ladies.
Keep it classy,
gents.
Don't forget, next week, man, we're gonna have Johnny Rizzo in town with Dawn here from Motorcycle Mayhem on the show. We're gonna have a food truck outside.
And then we're partying afterwards.
Then we're going to go to Will Hoyt's afterwards, and we're going to have an amazing time. Meet and greet with Johnny Rizzo and Dawn. And anything else?
If you can be anything.
Just be kind. Peace.